Hi my friends, we are on day 18 on the 20-day flower creation journey, and today we are going to paint a beautiful ranunculus. A ranunculus is a big flower with many petals and they all lead to a center with a black disc. And today we are going to try to paint this ranunculus using in particular a filbert brush to start to create the petals. So I mix on my palette a little bit of magenta and the colors that I have on the palette that are quite pink, and I just use the side and the belly of my brush to create a general shape of these petals, in particular the inner petals of this ranunculus. So this is really the first step, and we are using a sort of light pink to create these petals, and we allow a more concentrated, for example, magenta to blend into the first layer. The first layer is created with a little amount of pigment onto the brush. In order to have a little amount of pigment into the brush, just create the color that you want to lay onto the paper on your color palette, and then just remove part of the pigment in the cup of water. I am working in this moment trying to give to these petals just an overall round shape of this flower overall, but I'm not too precise into creating these petals with a specific shape. And I look at the reference picture to understand how the shape of this petal needs to be, but I'm not too worried if I'm not achieving a perfect result. I'm using different concentration of pigments from my palette, and I allow these pigments to blend into the first layer that I have just created of very light pink. In this case, for example, I'm adding more concentrated magenta, and this will really let the center of this flower pop compared to the outer part of these petals that are much lighter. I usually like to add a more concentrated amount of pigment in the inner part of these flowers, and in general of other flowers too, because I like the inner part usually to pop more compared to the outer part of the petals. In particular, in this tutorial, we will learn how to add definitions to the petals when we are going to, in particular, add the second and the third layers through additional brush strokes when the first layer of paint is going to be completely dry. I am quite satisfied with the overall shape of this flower, the flower that is at the bottom of the page, and therefore I can start to create the second flower that is actually at the top. To create this flower, I'm using a similar technique where I am creating the first layer. I'm laying on the paper the first layer of paint and defining the petals. And we are going to add more definitions when this first layer is going to be completely dry. The first layer is in a very similar color to the first one, because I noticed from the reference picture that these two ranunculus actually have a very similar color overall. And therefore, once I've created the overall shape of these petals, I add more definition by touching the center of these flowers with a more concentrated amount of magenta that is on my brush. Overall, this flower composition is mainly created using magenta as a main color. This is a magenta from Schminke and I really love it. I wanted to give you a suggestion if you want to obtain other beautiful shades that are using mainly the magenta color but a little bit more subtle or with a different sort of shade. I recommend you to use the magenta with a little bit of yellow ochre. Or, for example, if you wanted to achieve a beautiful sort of purple, violet, you can add to the magenta a little bit of blue, like for example the cobalt blue. And this combination of these two colors is really stunning, especially when the paint is completely dry. I love to mix a little bit of cobalt blue into my magenta, especially when I add some wet on wet. When I've created the overall first layer, so an overall shape of these flowers, I am ready to take my round brush in size 12 to start to create the stems of these two flowers. As I look at the reference picture, I notice that the stems of these flowers is pretty simple. These flowers don't have leaves, therefore we are going to skip this part and we are just going to create some straight lines that represent the stem of these flowers. The color I'm using for these stems is sap green, and it is the color that I mainly use for all of my stems. I also have on my color palette some green earth from Schminke, which I really like, but I usually prefer to use the sap green because it's much brighter in color and I usually like it more for these types of paintings. As I am happy with the overall shape of both flowers, I proceed by taking my round brush in size 6, so this is a small round brush, and I will start to create the second layer on top of the first one, where basically I use the belly of my brush and the tip of my brush to drag a second layer of paint on top of the first one that is quite transparent but gives a little bit the impression that the shadow of the flower is in that area. I try to give more dimension to these flowers by adding these layers on top. I usually like to add dimension with layers that are quite similar in colors to the first one. So for example, in this case, I'm adding a second layer that is mainly of magenta color, maybe mixed with a little bit of yellow ochre. But you can either use the same technique or you can try to experiment and add very different brush strokes in colors compared to the base color of the first layer. In this case, I'm mainly using the magenta color also because I am following a reference picture and I'm trying to be quite similar in color and shape. But of course, you can try to use very different colors if you wanted to have something quite different from what I'm doing. Some brush strokes in this second layer are very transparent and just add a little bit of dimension, while instead some other brush strokes, usually I do this with fine lines, are much more concentrated, in this case in the color of magenta. And I really like to add these different levels, let's say, of concentration of these colors. I am looking at the reference picture to understand where to add these layers, but I'm also just following my intuition, my instinct, and I just sometimes add these strokes where I think they would look the best. It takes me a little bit of time to decide where to add these strokes, and I find this process of adding layers quite meditative. It's a sort of relaxing moment where I look at what I have created and I think where it's best to add other layers. In this moment, for example, I've created a sort of purple, violet color by mixing a little bit of magenta and blue, cobalt blue. And this color is quite different from the base color and from the magenta that I've used to add the contrasting strokes, especially in the center part of this ranunculus. Therefore, I'm going to use a few strokes of this darker and different color that is this purple, just to give some accent strokes that are quite different from everything I have on the paper at the moment. In particular, I like to mix this cobalt blue and magenta and allow this mixture to blend in the wet magenta that we have in the center of this ranunculus. I usually build up, let's say, the concentration of these brush strokes through the layers. So usually the first layer that I create is quite light and the concentration of pigment is not very high. And then the more I build on top the second and the third layer, for example, the more I like to use more concentrated brush strokes. Therefore, I'm going to use more concentrated pigments on my brush. And when I am quite satisfied with the first ranunculus, I can start to create the second layer and eventually also layers on top of this one on the ranunculus that is painted on the upper part of the page. I like to add more concentrated brush strokes in the center part of the ranunculus, and mainly I'm using a mixture of magenta with the paint that I have on the color palette. I keep adding these brush strokes to give more dimension and to define better these petals of this ranunculus. And at this point, I am also using a more concentrated amount of another color, which is actually Scarlet Lake, just to give a different look to this ranunculus on the top of the page. I have to say that I'm using a little bit of Scarlet Lake mixed with magenta because I think also this mixture of these two colors is beautiful on paper. So actually a mixture of magenta and Scarlet Lake is something that I combine often in my compositions. Remember that you can add some more concentrated pigment onto the second layer when this is still wet, and you will have beautiful bleeding effects through the wet on wet technique. Take time to experiment adding layers on your florals and don't be afraid to try something that you have never done in the past. It will not be perfect on your first trial, but I can promise you that with the time and with the experience you will learn better where to add these brush strokes and you will improve your technique overall. As I have done for the first ranunculus, I add also in the second one a few brush strokes of the purple that I can create by mixing a little bit of magenta with a little bit of cobalt blue. There are just a few brush strokes of this cobalt blue and magenta mixture on the second ranunculus too, but really this purple color will help these both flowers to pop from the paper. And now we are ready to create the disc of the first flower, so I mix a little bit of Mars Black and a little bit of Prussian Blue, and I just create a circular shape in the middle where I left a white space. I do not fill completely the disc, but I leave still some white space of the paper because this will give dimension to the whole disc. On the second ranunculus, I just tap with the tip of this brush and I create a few dots that represent the disc. And this is the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed and I hope to see you tomorrow on day 19.